Hello, my friend. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever caught a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and thought, that's not how I feel on the inside? Maybe you still feel sharp, kind, and full of life, but the reflection looking back seems a little more tired, a little more aged than you expected. It's a strange disconnect, isn't it? One that sneaks up slowly over years, not days. The truth is, aging isn't just about gray hair or wrinkles. It's about the small habits we carry without realizing it. Habits that can silently make us appear older, more withdrawn, or less engaged than we actually are. And the hardest part? Most people around us will never say a word. They'll notice, sure, but out of kindness or discomfort, they'll stay silent. That silence can leave us in the dark, thinking we're doing just fine, when really, the world is responding to us differently. People may pull away, social invitations might slow, the warmth in everyday interactions may begin to fade, and we're left wondering why. But here's the empowering truth. These habits can be changed, and not through plastic surgery or chasing youth, but by reconnecting with the simple things that keep us feeling proud, present, and alive. In today's video, we're going to uncover 6 harsh aging habits, things that are easy to overlook but can drastically affect how others perceive you and even how you feel about yourself. These aren't meant to shame or criticize. They're here to shine a light on what's been hidden so you can take back control and age with confidence and grace. Because you deserve to be seen not just as someone who's grown older, but as someone who's still growing. Let's begin. Aging is often seen as an external process. Wrinkles, gray hair, slower steps, but much of it is deeply psychological and social. The way we present ourselves sends powerful, often unconscious signals to others about who we are and how we feel. And the surprising truth? People respond to those signals far more than we think. Let's break it down. As humans, our brains are wired to quickly assess others based on appearance, voice, posture, and behavior. It's not about vanity. It's about survival instincts developed over thousands of years. When someone seems vibrant, clean, engaged, and confident, others naturally associate that with health, capability, and warmth. But when someone appears disheveled, withdrawn, or overly negative, it can signal fatigue, disconnection, or decline, even if that's far from the truth. What's more, researchers in the fields of psychology and gerontology have found that self-perception, how you see yourself, influences not just your behavior but your biology. In one Yale study, seniors with a positive view of aging lived, on average, 7.5 years longer than those with negative self-perceptions. The reason? Confidence, optimism, and engagement are tied to lower stress levels, better sleep, stronger immune response, and more physical activity. But here's where it gets tricky. Small daily habits like wearing outdated clothing, speaking too loudly, or slouching can gradually reinforce a sense of invisibility or powerlessness. And over time, these habits not only change how others see us, they start to change how we see ourselves. Another key factor is nonverbal communication. Studies show that over 60% of what people hear in an interaction comes from body language, tone, and appearance, not just your words. This means that if your posture is closed off, your grooming is inconsistent, or your breath has an unpleasant odor, often due to dry mouth or medications, people may instinctively step back, even if they're not consciously aware of why. And what about speaking loudly or interrupting? Often this is due to hearing loss, a natural part of aging, but it can give the impression of being overbearing or unaware. Not because of ill intention, but because hearing loss affects your ability to monitor how loudly you speak or how long you've been talking. Without realizing it, you might be dominating conversations or pushing people away. Clothing also plays a subtle role. Studies in social psychology show that people dressed in clean, well-fitted, and intentional clothing are seen as more competent and socially engaged, regardless of age. Baggy, worn-out clothing, even if comfortable, can convey the opposite. And finally, there's emotional energy. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate warmth, curiosity, and openness. But when someone complains often or focuses on how things used to be, it creates emotional heaviness. Even if those complaints are valid, too much negativity can discourage connection, especially with younger family members or friends. So what's the takeaway? Aging habits aren't just physical, they're psychological and social. They influence the way people see you, treat you, and even how you see yourself. But they're not permanent. In fact, once you become aware of them, you can begin to shift your presence, not by pretending to be young, but by reclaiming your vitality with intention, dignity, and care. In the next section, we'll explore 6 specific habits that might be quietly aging you, and the simple, powerful ways you can change them starting today. 1. Neglecting personal grooming, the confidence killer. Let's start with one of the most common and most overlooked aging habits: neglecting personal grooming. As we grow older, it's easy to let certain routines slip. Maybe it's skipping a shave because no one's coming over, or leaving nails a little long. Maybe your clothes are clean but look tired and haven't changed in years. These may seem like small things, but together they send a powerful message. Not just to others, but to yourself. Take Walter, for example. At 82, he had always been proud of his polished look. But gradually, he stopped trimming his eyebrows, let his hair grow wild, and wore the same few shirts week after week. He didn't notice the change until he caught a glimpse of himself in a mirror one day and barely recognized the tired man staring back. The moment he took action, a haircut, a shave, a fresh shirt, something shifted. He stood taller. Strangers smiled at him. He felt more awake, more himself. Grooming isn't just about appearance. It's about how you carry your energy. Studies show that when people feel well groomed, they exude more confidence and are perceived as more vibrant, alert, and engaging. So what can you do? You don't need expensive products or hours in front of a mirror. A regular haircut, trim nails, clean, well-fitting clothes, a simple moisturizer or lip balm to avoid dryness. If you wear facial hair, keep it neat. These simple acts say, I still care, I'm still here. And that, my friend, is something people notice and deeply respect. Grooming isn't vanity. It's visibility. It's self-respect. And it changes how the world responds to you. 2. Speaking too loudly or interrupting, the unintentional off-put. This one is sensitive but incredibly common. Speaking too loudly, interrupting others, or dominating conversations without realizing it. For many older adults, this doesn't come from rudeness. It stems from gradual hearing loss. As your ability to hear diminishes, so does your sense of how loud you're speaking. You may raise your voice to compensate or accidentally cut others off because you miss conversational cues. The trouble is, most people won't say anything. They'll smile politely, but emotionally back away. Take George, a 77-year-old with a big heart and a booming voice. He loved telling stories and making people laugh, but over time his volume increased, and so did the interruptions. At a family gathering, he noticed something. People were backing away slightly when he spoke. It was a wake-up call. He got his hearing checked, started being more mindful, and instantly saw a difference. Conversations felt warmer again. Here's the science. When people feel talked over or overwhelmed by volume, they tend to disengage. It can come across as dominating or dismissive, even if that's not the intent. Social connection depends on balance, speaking, listening, and creating space for others to be heard. So what can you do? First, notice body language. Are people leaning back, speaking more quietly, struggling to finish a thought? Those are gentle cues. Second, consider a hearing test. Even mild hearing loss can affect social dynamics. And finally, practice pausing. Let others finish. Invite responses. These small adjustments don't silence you. They strengthen your voice by making others feel seen and valued. That's the kind of communication that keeps you connected, respected, and warmly remembered. 3. Wearing outdated or ill-fitting clothes, the silent style trap. Let's talk about something few people are brave enough to mention: clothing. As we age, comfort often takes priority over style, and rightfully so. But there's a quiet trap here. Wearing clothes that are stretched out, faded, or stuck in a past decade can unintentionally make us look older, less vibrant, and even out of touch. The tricky part? Most people will never say a word, but they'll notice. Take Harold, for example. At 80, he had once been known for his sharp style, but over time, he stopped paying attention to his clothes. Old sweaters lost their shape, pants sagged, and he defaulted to the same worn jacket day after day. Then one afternoon, his daughter gifted him a fitted, button-down shirt and modern slacks. The change was instant. People complimented him, he stood taller, and he even felt younger. You don't need to chase fashion trends or buy a whole new wardrobe, but you do need to understand that clothing speaks before you do. A crisp, well-fitting outfit says, "I'm still present, still proud." Baggy or outdated clothes can suggest the opposite, even if you feel great on the inside. So what can you do? Start small. Try one new shirt in a flattering color. Replace worn-out pants with a clean, structured pair. Choose fabrics that are breathable but not shapeless. And don't forget shoes. They're often the first thing people notice. Ask a stylish friend or store associate for input if you're unsure. The goal isn't to impress others, it's to feel confident when you walk out the door. And when you dress with intention, people respond. They see someone who's aging, yes, but aging with purpose, grace, and dignity. 4. Complaining or criticizing too much, the emotional weight. Here's a habit that often sneaks in quietly: constant complaining or criticizing. It doesn't start with bad intentions. Usually it comes from observation, experience, or frustration. But over time, it creates emotional weight in every conversation, and without realizing it, can push people away. Think of Roger, a 75-year-old who loved to talk about how things used to be. He'd mention how kids today don't work as hard, how technology was simpler back then, or how the world just felt more respectful years ago. At first, his family smiled politely, but gradually they began to pull back. One day, his grandson asked, "Grandpa, do you even like anything these days?" That question hit home. The truth is, people gravitate toward those who lift their energy, not those who drain it. And even if your complaints are valid, hearing too much negativity too often can make others feel tense, uninspired, or even guilty. No one wants to feel like they're never doing things right. So what can you do? Start with awareness. Notice how often your words focus on what's wrong, then shift. If you're tempted to say, "Back in my day, things were better," try instead, "Things were different. I'm curious how this works now." If you feel the urge to point out a mistake, pair it with something kind or encouraging. People remember how you make them feel. If your presence brings warmth, hope, or humor, they'll seek it out. That doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. It means choosing to balance wisdom with openness, frustration with gratitude. Your words carry weight. Make them light enough to lift others, and you'll find yourself surrounded by deeper, more joyful connection. 5. Ignoring posture and body language, the unspoken message. You may not say a word, but your body speaks volumes. Posture and body language are among the first things people notice, and they silently shape how others perceive you. Over time, slouching, shuffling while walking, or avoiding eye contact can send an unintentional message of frailty, disinterest, or insecurity. Take Eleanor, an 83-year-old who had always been strong and independent. Yet people began offering her extra help, treating her like she was fragile. She didn't understand why until she saw a photo of herself: hunched shoulders, crossed arms, and a downward gaze. Her body was telling a story she didn't intend to tell. Science backs this up. Studies show that people with upright posture are perceived as more confident, youthful, and mentally sharp. Meanwhile, slouched or closed-off body language suggests low energy, sadness, or a lack of confidence, even if you don't feel that way inside. So what can you do? Start by paying attention. When you sit or stand, imagine a string gently pulling you up from the top of your head. Roll your shoulders back, open your chest, and keep your chin level. When walking, lift your feet fully rather than shuffling. And in conversation, face people directly. Maintain soft eye contact, and use your hands to express engagement. You don't have to be stiff or rigid. Just aware, because posture isn't about looking perfect, it's about staying present. When you carry yourself with strength and openness, people respond to your energy, not your age. Body language is your silent introduction. Make sure it reflects the strong, thoughtful, and capable person you still are, because the way you stand shapes the way the world sees you. 6. Bad breath or body odor. The elephant in the room. This may be the most uncomfortable topic of all, but also one of the most important. As we age, bad breath and body odor can quietly become part of our daily reality, and we might not even notice. Our sense of smell naturally weakens over time, making it harder to detect changes in our own scent. Meanwhile, others around us pick up on it instantly, but almost no one will say a word. Take Frank, a vibrant 78-year-old who loved chatting with neighbors, but he started noticing something odd. Conversations grew shorter. People leaned away instead of in. It wasn't until his daughter gently suggested a new mouthwash and more water throughout the day that the truth hit. With just a few changes, everything shifted. Smiles returned, and so did his confidence. So what's happening here? Dry mouth, a common issue in older adults, often caused by medications or dehydration, is a major cause of bad breath. Saliva helps wash away bacteria, and when it's lacking, odor builds. Similarly, body odor can be affected by diet, digestion, metabolism, and even wearing the same clothes repeatedly without washing. The fix? Start simple. Drink more water throughout the day. Use alcohol-free mouthwash and chew sugar-free gum to keep your mouth moist. Shower daily, use a reliable deodorant, and wear breathable fabrics. Wash clothes, bed linens, and even hats or scarves more often than you think you need to. It's not just about hygiene, it's about how others feel in your presence. People want to lean in, not step back. And when you care for your scent as part of your overall health, it says something powerful. I respect myself and the people around me. Let's take a deep breath together. Now that we've explored these 6 aging habits, you might be feeling a mix of emotions. Awareness, maybe a little discomfort, or even regret. That's okay. It means you're paying attention. It means you care. And that alone puts you miles ahead of where most people ever go. You see, aging doesn't sneak up on us just in the mirror. It shows up in how we move, how we speak, how we show up in the world, and how the world responds to us. These habits we've talked about today, they're not character flaws. They're simply signals, gentle reminders that it might be time to adjust the way we walk through life. But here's the beautiful truth. Every single one of these habits is changeable. You don't need to erase your age. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to reconnect with the version of yourself that still wants to be seen, heard, and respected. Because that person, they're still right here. Maybe it's been a while since you bought a new shirt or trimmed your nails. Maybe your posture has rounded more than you realized. Maybe you've gotten used to hearing yourself talk, but haven't noticed how others respond. These are not failures. They are signs, and with a little intention, they become turning points. It's easy to think that after a certain age, these things don't matter anymore, that no one's looking. But the opposite is true. People are watching, they're listening, and they are deeply moved by someone who continues to care, who chooses dignity, presence, and connection, no matter the number on their driver's license. When you carry yourself with awareness, when you speak with grace, when you dress with quiet confidence, you don't just look better. You feel better, and more importantly, you remind others that aging can be full of power, purpose, and presence. So if one of these habits spoke to you today, let it. Don't brush it off. Use it as a nudge, not to be perfect, but to be more you, the version of you that knows their worth and walks like it. Because aging doesn't dim your light, it only asks that you keep it lit, on purpose and with heart. Now that we've uncovered these 6 powerful habits, I want to encourage you to take this beyond reflection and into action. Start small. Choose just one habit from today's list that resonated with you. Maybe you've noticed yourself slouching more, wearing the same clothes for years, or speaking over others without meaning to. It's not about feeling guilty, it's about reclaiming control, gently, confidently, and on your own terms. Tonight, take 5 quiet minutes. Look in the mirror and ask, what's one simple change I can make this week to help me feel more alive, more respected, and more like myself? Write it down, keep it visible. That single act of awareness and intention can open the door to renewed energy and self-respect. Let's say your grooming routine has faded. Book a haircut, refresh your skincare basics, lay out tomorrow's outfit with care. If posture is the issue, begin with a 5-minute daily practice. Shoulders back, head lifted, eyes forward. It may feel small, but over time, those movements retrain not just your body, but your mindset. And if speaking habits have changed with age, take the first step by simply pausing more in conversations. Listen with care. Let others finish. You might be surprised how much more connected and appreciated you feel. Most importantly, know this: you're not in this alone. That's exactly why we created ElderSpark, to be a trusted place for people like you who want to stay sharp, healthy, and purposeful as they age. Each week, we offer practical, heartfelt videos like this one, grounded in science, lived wisdom, and encouragement that speaks directly to your experience. So if this message touched you, subscribe to ElderSpark, share this video with a friend, and leave a comment below about the one habit you're choosing to work on. Together, we're not just growing older, we're growing bolder. Let's quickly recap the 6 aging habits that might be making you look older than you really are and how to fix them. 1. Neglecting personal grooming. Refresh your appearance with small daily routines like trimming nails, caring for skin, and wearing clean, well-fitted clothes. 2. Speaking too loudly or interrupting. Be mindful of your volume and let others finish their thoughts. Consider a hearing check if needed. 3. Wearing outdated or ill-fitting clothes. Update your wardrobe with a few modern, flattering pieces to boost confidence. 4. Complaining or criticizing too much. Balance your conversations with curiosity, humor, and positivity. 5. Ignoring posture and body language. Stand tall, walk with purpose, and make eye contact to project energy and strength. 6. Bad breath or body odor. Stay hydrated, maintain hygiene, and refresh clothing regularly to ensure lasting social comfort. Small shifts, big difference.